There are some of you watching this video, you say that, hey, Nhyira, I want to go into business. Okay, that's fine. You want to become an entrepreneur. You want to become your own boss. If I should ask you right now, what's your mindset about business? What is business? What is business? Because you see, many people make a lot of errors and think that entrepreneurship is just about titles. And once they have certain titles, they can really become successful as individuals. No. Listen, business is simply the relationship between problems, okay, problem and solution. That's all. Now, I want you to stay with me carefully, because if you have the wrong mindset, you will start a business and fail. Data has shown that about 90% of businesses fail in the first 3 years. 90% of the businesses fail, startups fail in the first 3 years. Why? Because they have a wrong mindset about entrepreneurship. They have wrong mindset about business. They don't understand what it takes to actually run a business. They just have some ideas and then they jump on it thinking that they can start a business. No. Now, the 10% of the businesses that remain, about 90% of that also fail in 5 years. It means that technically the margin of success is slim. So my question to you is this: what's your mindset about business? Like I said, business is all about finding problems and providing solutions. But you got to be careful. If we say problem, what does that mean? It means that you must know about the need in the marketplace. So what is the need in the marketplace? So maybe you are an entrepreneur, you want to go into business. What is the need in the marketplace? But you got to be careful. The fact that there is a need does not mean that you have to jump into business, because this is where a lot of businesses fail. Oh, in my community, nobody sells sanitary pad, so from today I will start selling sanitary pad. Oh, in my community, nobody sells, disposable cups, so I want to start disposable cup business. Oh, in my community, nobody sells condom, so I will start selling condom. There is a need, but it doesn't end there. You must have a certain mindset. Number two, you need to ask yourself, what is the size of that market? Now, before we even come to the size, let me talk to you about purchasing power. Purchasing power. Now, there is a need, or there may be a need, but you have to find out, do they have the purchasing power? Are people there to demand it? Because you see, one thing you must understand is this, and I hope you learned this and you remember this in economics. There's a difference between want and demand. You learned this in economics. It's valuable in entrepreneurship. There's a difference between want and demand. Want is desire. That's all. Want is a desire. Demand is a desire backed by a purchasing power. Desire backed by a purchasing power, meaning ability to pay for it. So I have a desire. I want to drive Rolls Royce. I have a desire. I want to own a private jet. I have a desire. I want to live in a 5-star community. That's my desire. I'm broke. I don't have money. So it's not a demand. Right? But if I have the ability to pay for that, it becomes a demand. So my question is this: yes, you have found a need in the marketplace. You have found a need in your community. You have found a need in the society you are in the country you are in. The question you need to ask yourself is, do they have the purchasing power? Can people pay for this? Are people having money to pay for this? Because unless otherwise you want to go into charity business, you are there to make profit. And you can only make profit if people with desire backed by purchasing power. But beyond that, you need to look at the size of the market. What's the size of the market? Because again, a lot of businesses fail because they don't analyze the problem into the size of the market. What is the size of the market? How big is this need? How big is this problem? How many people actually need solution to this problem. Then you need to find out whether the market is even growing, or like I said, like maybe the stage of the market. Is the market growing? Is the market declining? Is the market static? Okay. Is the market static? What is the stage of the market? So you don't just get up and say, oh, there is this need in our community, so I'm an entrepreneur. That is why a lot of people fail in their businesses. Yes, there is a need, but how many people are demanding it? How many people can actually pay for it? And this thing that people want, is it growing? Is it increasing? Is it something that will grow into the future? Because you don't want to start a business, then after 2 months, 3 months, nobody is demanding for it, then you have to close your business. No. So that is the mindset that you have to develop. So being an entrepreneur, running a business is not just about, yeah, I found a need. Yeah. Let me go and start doing a business. Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. No, you have to ask yourself, is this a demand or a want? You have to ask yourself, what is the size of the market? Sometimes you can even go deeper to look at the demography of the market. Okay, the demography of the market. When I talk about the demography, I'm talking about, the sex. Okay, male, female. We are talking about, education. We are talking about societal norm. You have to analyze all that. It's a mindset you got to develop. So if you want to be an entrepreneur and be a successful entrepreneur at that, you don't just say that, oh, I have an idea, let me start a business. I have spoken to my mom, and my mom said that, oh, this business there, it will work. Your mom is not your customer. Don't take business advice from your mother if that person has never run any business or has never mentored any person running a business. You see, one of the deadliest things you can do to yourself as an individual to take advice from people who have never done what they are advising you to do and who have never mentored people to do that. You gotta be careful. So maybe you see you say an idea, then you gather some few friends, and you're like, Charlie, I've seen this thing that I want to do. What do you guys? Then they say, oh, Charlie Kojo, I know, Charlie, do it. You gotta be careful, because advice is free, but it's expensive. People advise you from where they are standing, their experience, and what they know about the subject matter. But not everybody. The fact that someone is in a place of authority, including myself. Okay, the fact that you look up to somebody does not mean if they advise you, you have to follow it. No, you have to contextualize their advice. You have to look at your own life and find out, this advice, does it apply to me? This advice, will it work for me? So yes, you have an idea. Then your mom said, oh, my son, go for it. Then your brothers, before you get excited, ask yourself, what is the purchasing power? What is the size of the market? Is the market growing? What is the demography? It's a mindset that you have to develop if you want to be an entrepreneur. If not, you're going to fail as an entrepreneur. So that is the problem side. Now let's come to the solution side. The solution side is what you are going to be providing to the marketplace to that particular problem that you are identifying in the marketplace. So my question to you is this: what is your solution? So that is going to be your value proposition, if you want, to the customers. Why should customers come buy from you? You need to look at that. This is what you are offering in the market. You're offering your solution to the market. But you see, you got to be careful, because when you're thinking about your solution, 99.9% of the time, what you want to do someone is already doing it. There may be an entity somewhere already doing it. So you have to ask yourself, who are my key competitors? Identify them and find out their competitive advantage, what they are good at, their strength, their weaknesses. You must identify that. So you don't just develop a solution and say, oh, I'm going into the market. Yeah, I've started my business. I'm an entrepreneur. Guy. Then you are walking around worrying people. Oh, Charlie, I want money. Please, before you start bothering people with helping you so that you can become an entrepreneur, you can start your business, make sure you have gotten yourself into these things very well. What's the value proposition? What are you offering? Then, who are your key competitors? Because you see, you need to convince people. Okay? Then you have to look at the timing. How long is it going to take? How long is it going to take for this solution to be available in the marketplace? The shorter the period, the better. So how long is it going to take to come into the market? All of these things are the mindset that you got to build.